Do you hear Girl Quest Comics and Panel Bound Comics recently had a sale going on for Batman Day, and I decided to take advantage of that and grab a few graphic novels that I am missing in the collection of things I'd like to read as I make my way through reading through Batman and adding to my ever-growing collection. And that just came in the mail, so let me show you what I got. Alright, so first up is Batman, the Black Mirror, JLA, the Tower of Babel, and Strange Adventures Deluxe. Alright, so with the jacket, got some reviews, I think, contributors without. What the inside looks like on both ends. So we got here. Deluxe. Come with the tail. Nope, jumping right in. Got some extras. Yep. Here's with the dust jacket. Alright, here's without. Pretty wild. Now this is the cover I remember from memory that made me think of the Tower of Babel story. Alright, so there's nothing right here. Intros or table of contents. I don't think so. I think just jump right in. That's what it looks like. Yep, just jumps right in. Just with. The jacket. Looks like we got a map of Ran. Let's get a better look. So the entire cover without the jacket is a map. The key, compass, and everything. I'm a fantasy book reader, so maps are always welcome. Okay, so the inside, I like the colors. There's an introduction, and it just jumps right in. It's got quite a bit of pretty thick. Alright, so when it comes to Batman the Black Mirror, I haven't read this, but I know basically that it's about Dick Grayson as Batman. That's about all I know. I think I've read a synopsis here and there. I've mostly seen this cover as I've been in like a Barnes & Noble and stuff and thought, oh man, that looks really cool. And I've heard some suggestions on this, but I've never actually read it. So this is an unknown for me. I just know that this is one of those stories that I've been missing out on. So whatever deal Panel Bound Comics had going on, I took advantage of it to finally check this off the list because I've been wanting to read this. I've just kicked that can down the road and now I can finally get that done. Now, JLA Tower of Babel, this is one that I think I've read an issue, or I've definitely seen some panels here and there. I watched the Justice League Doom animated movie. I have it. I know this is all about Batman's contingency plans. This has been a big deal story since I was a kid. So I know what this is about. I know that obviously it's not the exact same as the animated movie that I watched, but this is one of those stories that I never read growing up, but this was one of those that always circulated in conversations about Batman and how smart he is. So I'm excited to finally read this start to finish, instead of just like knowing about it, seeing some panels, maybe reading an issue, watching an animated movie it was based off. Like, I'm really glad to finally add this to the list of things I've read, because I know that this is going to be good, because this is something that I've talked about with friends for years, and I'm glad I'm going to finally get to read this. And last is one that I didn't think I'd ever actually get, not because I was against getting it, but I just, this is not something that I expected to buy. But, and this, like, I don't know if you can see with the camera, but like this, I didn't notice when I opened this. The texture is different, so that's a really cool effect. But yeah, I wasn't planning on really checking this out until I watched Superman, and Mr. Terrific was one of those characters that stole the show, and I wanted to read more Mr. Terrific, so I was looking into that, and this was one of those suggestions. And it comes with a map, and I love reading fantasy books, so maps are always welcome. That's the first thing I look to, so I'm really looking forward to just checking out the map more, on top of reading a good story and having some more Mr. Terrific. So yeah, have you read any of these 3 stories? I would love to hear opinions in the comments. I know about Tower of Babel, so I'd love to hear what anyone thinks about that, but I haven't read the other 2. So were these good? You got any further suggestions on that? Let me know. There should be a globe in the corner somewhere here if you want to keep talking comics with me. This is D with Girl Quest Comics. Thanks for hanging out.